Hey there, friends. Welcome to the Having a Mom Moment podcast, where we dive deep into the world of motherhood and beyond. I'm your host, Shannon Warner, and I am excited to embark on this journey with all of you. Here's the deal. This podcast is your ultimate sanctuary, your sacred space to hit pause on the chaos of mom life and reconnect with the amazing woman behind the title of mom. Yep, it's all about those precious mom moments because, let's face it, we all need a little more time for ourselves. Am I right? So what can you expect from our time together? Well, picture this. We'll be soaking up wisdom from fellow moms, sharing their stories and triumphs and how they've tapped into alignment on their own motherhood journeys. It's like a mom-to-mom chat over coffee, with a sprinkle of inspiration and a dash of humor thrown in for good measure. We're here to light up your soul, to remind you of your incredible power, and to celebrate the unique spark that makes you, you. Because when we take care of ourselves, we become unstoppable forces for good in the lives of those we love. So join me as we laugh, learn, and rediscover the magic of this crazy ride called motherhood together. Get ready for your weekly dose of connection and encouragement, because around here, we don't just mom. We mom with purpose and power in alignment with our true selves. Stay tuned, my friends. The adventure starts now. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Having a Mom Moment podcast. I am your host, Shannon Warner, and as always, I am truly honored and so grateful that you have taken your precious time to join me here today. Whew, summer is going by fast. I don't know about you, but it feels like once we hit that 4th of July mark, it's just going by in a flash. I can't believe it. And we're having a good summer over here, and I hope you are too. But it's really forcing me to be very intentional with the way that I am spending my time with my podcast, the way I'm spending my time with my children, the way I'm spending time with my husband and our family and with our friends, and getting those things checked off the summer bucket list. Meanwhile, balancing work. And I don't know if I've told you all, but in addition to this podcast, I also moonlight as a podcast editor for a couple of other podcasts. And there's just a lot to balance right now. And it's so good. All good things, all lovely things, and some other new beginnings on the horizon here as well that I'll share about in a future episode. But whew, it's all coming together and it's all going by so fast. And I'm grateful for a beautiful summer so far, but it's really forcing me to refocus on my intentionality. And that's some of what I want to share with you today. This is a shorter episode. It's another replay of an Instagram Live that I hosted with Coach Kelly Tibbits, who has become a very dear friend of mine. She was on an episode earlier this year talking about the Enneagram. I shared another replay of an Instagram Live a few weeks back about the working genius that she is knowledgeable in. And today's episode is about summer tips for busy moms and how we need to remember that it's our summer too. So it's just a conversation that includes some tips on how to make the best of your summer, not only for your kids, but for you as well, because your needs, your passions, your dreams, your desires, all of that matters too. You get to have a fun and beautiful summer as well. Don't forget that on the way to trying to make all those beautiful memories for your family. Okay, let's get into it. Please enjoy another conversation with Kelly Tibbits. Hi, friends. Happy Monday. Back with another Instagram Live with my friend, life coach, Kelly Tibbits. She will be here soon, but I shared a post last week about some summer reminders for moms. You may have seen this post. It is from the account mama.hooding, and it had some really good reminders. So Kelly and I are going to talk about this today. Let me bring her up. How are things in your world today?
They're good. Some hard stuff in my town over the weekend that I feel on my soul. And I had the chance last week to go spend time with my family, which was so great. My girls are all grown and I'm missing them. So I'm excited though to talk today about what you shared, because I'm deciding there's a sentence I want to say every day. We have to stop saying that women who are home with their children are not working.
Oh, please speak more to that. I've always been a working mom, but I want to hear it from your perspective.
Right. As someone who's done the work. So I remember about 10 or 11 years ago, I met somebody and her and her husband had little kids and they said they were going to call their family team their last name. And my daughters are all grown now and they say all the time, Mom, you brought such great value into our lives with the time and the energy. And, Dad brought the money in and you brought like all of this other work. And I worked part-time too, but he was the majority of the income. And so one of the things we've discovered together, my daughters and I, this team idea or building a business, building a company together, right? Like building something of value, and every part of the family is important. And when we say something like women who are staying home are not working, it just negates the value that emotional energy is, that mental energy is, that physical energy is. And so I've even heard that there are people now who, in addition to having nannies, have what's called a home manager. And it's all the other parts of what a mom does besides the childcare. So if you take the amount of income that's required for being the nanny and you take the amount of income required for all of the other parts, it becomes an incredibly expensive role.
Yeah.
And so let's not say not working. So when moms are home with their kids for the summer, whether they work during the school year or, they're just getting them for more hours because their school part isn't happening, like really being clear, this is the opposite of not working. It is working emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually on the most important thing, raising humans.
Yeah, I know there's a great divide between working moms and stay-at-home moms, and I understand the feelings on both sides. I've been able to, be a working mom, but also see what it's like on the other side, and it's not for me. But I just want to say, like, we are all in this collective together. And when you denounce the value of a stay-at-home mom's work, you're also denouncing your own value because you do that as well when you're at home, right? You're saying that those parts don't hold value. And yeah, we absolutely hold so much value.
Although it's working for pay and not working for pay. And the average mom who is working full-time for pay nowadays is still spending more time. Did you see this recently on like TikTok and different places? The mom who's working full-time is spending more time with her kids than the mom who stayed home in the 60s was. So I'm a kid of the 70s. And our mom to be like, get out of the house. Like there was no phone to track us. It was just like, it's summer, get out, take your little 3-year-old. I was literally like 10. And it was like, here's your 3-year-old sister. You guys go to the park for the day, come back for lunch. And so whether you're working outside the home or inside the home for pay, not for pay, there's so much work taking place. So we just need new language for like working, not working, like everything is important. And so when you're home this summer, I know I did this when my girls were younger. I made this unrealistic like expectation of what my kids were going to be able to do over the summer with me. Like we had to go to the park twice a day. We had to do this. And I saw your post and I was like, the things they remember is going out in the yard and catching fireflies. It's the simple things. And so I love the idea of talking to you about it because it's so important for us to understand that all of this energy we're giving out is really, truly energy, right? It's emotional energy, mental energy, physical energy. And if we can take good care of ourselves and not hold ourselves to unrealistic expectations that we're going to have 14 hours a day of good physical, mental, emotional energy all poured into this child who probably needs downtime, who probably wants some time to play alone. So yeah, what did you notice when you saw that and shared it? It must have meant something to you for you to share it.
Yeah, so the account was mommy.hooding. So shout out to them. It's been going around. I've seen other people share it as well. But I was thinking about our summer and all the things we were going to do. And especially if you live in the north or, somewhere where you have pretty heavy winters like we do, there's a lot of pressure on summer to like make the most of it. So I was feeling that a little bit. And then my daughter made a bucket list on the last day of school and it really changed because I had ideas of what I wanted to do. We're going to take a trip or we're going to go to the amusement park and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to go to the beach every week. And her list was like, eat ice cream, go swimming in the pool. Our neighbors have a pool that they let us use. They're lovely. I think go to the beach. And there was like 1 or 2 other things. And we're 2 weeks into summer. And I think we've knocked 3 or 4 things off the list already, right? There was no like grand vacation. There was no like want to go to the beach 47 times or want to, it was just so simple. What they want is so simple. And it can be simple for us too. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be draining. It doesn't have to be expensive. I know things are costly and times, a lot of us are being stretched. And it's like, seriously, put the hose on. Turn the sprinkler on.
Well, especially if you allow them the time in advance to say, well, what do you even want to do? And it turns out, I want to be home more. I want to just have lunch with you. I want to have a popsicle or make ice cream.
All this to say the other morning, I don't even remember what we did. It wasn't even anything that memorable. My daughter was like, I'm having so much fun with you today. And I was like, oh, this wasn't anything that exciting. Like, I love that you're having a blast, but it just goes to show that we don't have to have these elaborate plans.
You are a mom, young kids, summertime coming. What would you say is your greatest need as a mom? Like to pour into yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually? Like, what do you need to have the energy to be this full-time parent? Because there really is a gift for them leaving for little bits every day. It gives us the time to do some of the work that we do. So what is it that you're like, you know what, if I could spend a little bit more time on this, I think I'd be healthier as I care for them.
Yeah. Exercise,
Yeah.
movement. Sure.
So isn't that easy to let that drop because it can feel like it's not the most important thing?
Yeah.
And yet,
definitely.
if there was the way for you to say, hey, I want to prioritize this, it could actually have this like ripple effect to every area. Yeah.
Right. And I know it gives me more energy, right? So even when I'm tired, I'm like, oh, but I just know if I just do it, and it's that much better for everybody.
Isn't that
Yeah.
so true of everything in life that's actually good for us? It's like, it's so hard to do it in the moment. And the things that probably aren't serving us are kind of easy to do in the moment. But like learning how to do an IG live, so hard, so easy for us to be like, never mind, can't do it.
Yeah.
It's too hard. And then we did the hard thing and then it gets a little bit easier. And yeah, I just think that's like really, really true. And so I think for moms to just like own the fact that if you just sat down and give yourself just a few minutes to think, what do you need? Do you need more alone time or do you need some time with friends? Do you need some time with a book or you need some time to create? Have you read The Artist Way?
I haven't. No. So we were going to talk about it a little bit too. We had talked about before, and I've dabbled in morning pages, but that's about it.
Well, her big point in there is that just 3 things we can do to stay creative. So your girls are younger than mine. How creative would you say they are?
Ooh, super creative, super creative. Yeah. And that's a little thing that I did with my daughter last week. Do you remember the little bead art where you like make a pattern and then you iron it? Oh, we spent the morning doing that the other day, and I was like, wow, that was refreshing.
It's so fun together too, because they get really like, they can make their own designs. But like that is still in you, it's still in me. And it's so interesting the way Julie Cameron describes it. Like there's just these 3 things that kind of connect you to your natural creativity as a human. And you know, I would say her premise is that like the more creative you are, the healthier you are. So I look behind you and like I think part of your creativity is the way that you care for your plants. You're some part of the creativity. Well, it was funny. We were going on vacation. I moved my plants into the bathroom. Like, oh my gosh, this looks like Shannon's background with like these plants behind it. And figured out it gets no good light, so I wouldn't be able to put them here. But there's also like it was such a fun feeling walking in there when my plants were all together. I don't know, but I think that is important for moms to realize that these 3 things. Walking, you would describe it as the exercise. My girls would like say Pilates, yoga, right? Like some kind of physical exercise, some kind of morning pages, some place to let your thoughts flow. And it doesn't have to be written because some people that's not a good fit. It might be just speaking it into your phone. It might be calling a friend, but like get what's in here out and then do something that she calls an artist date every single week, something for you. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I think that's like the way that we get out of taking care of ourselves is like it has to be so expensive. And so like my middle daughter who lives in Virginia always goes to Trader Joe's and buys herself the prettiest bouquet of the week. My oldest daughter, we're on vacation, brought us this incredible flaky salt. Have you heard of this flaky salt?
No.
They sell it at Whole Foods. Changes the flavor of your food. Like this little tiny simple thing that you can just like invest in a little bit of salt or a little bit of flowers or a pretty candle. So learning this has been so transformative to me. So I try to do something once a month that's a little bit bigger. And then try to do in the summer, my favorite thing is go for a walk and take pictures of all the pretty flowers that I see, whether it's like a little purple flower on the ground or somebody's beautiful pot. So anything come to mind that you're like, that would be kind of a fun artist date. It doesn't have to be a week in the, islands. It can be something small.
For me, I grew up a dancer, so finding a dance class for adults would be like the best. Would be the best. Yeah.
What a fun your brain has a job. Is there anything available all of summer, like once the summer to go and do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter took me to the ballet. I've gone into Boston and just like gone to a conference I wanted to go to. And once you start noticing what would I like? So here's a fun story. My kids are older and we just went on vacation together. And my husband and my daughters, they love finding fun breweries. And we lived in the cutest little town for the week. And I loved walking into town, getting a coffee, checking out all the little cute stores. And so I said no to the brewery tours for 4 of the days.
Okay.
And spent the whole time in town getting my coffee, going for a walk, looking at the boats. That was really hard for me. And it was so much easier this year. And the end of the week, my girls were like, you were just so pleasant because I took care of me first.
Yeah.
And so I think it just kind of circles back. Let them tell you a few things they'd like to do this summer. And it probably is a picnic outside, have my friend over, go out for ice cream. It's probably so simple and easy. Give yourself the same energy. What would I like? I would like one dance class.
Yeah.
Summer's over.
Yeah.
Anything else that you're like something small that you're like, this is the kind of artist that I can fit into my current season of life?
Honestly, I really love after the girls go to bed. So I don't know if it's a special date because I do it regularly, but I have a garden. I love to cut flowers and make little arrangements. And then if I have extra, I like to send some to my neighbor. And it's not, like a special trip out, but it's like my time. I go out by myself after the kids go down. It's perfect.
That's 100%, I think, what we need to just remind each other. Like, hey, mom, it doesn't have to be, a Saturday in the middle of the day. It could be at night.
Yeah.
But it's something that fills you back with joy and it's going to show up the next day. So I mean, those are the important things. Like, first of all, lowering the expectation of what summer has to cost with our money and our energy. Like, the memories are really going to be those things that you don't even think they'll ever remember, right? It's going to be that really simple. I just loved going to our friend's house and swimming in the pool. I would say my kids would say that for sure.
Yeah.
They would look back and say swimming with their friends at the pool was always a highlight of summer.
Right, exactly. And that's even better, right? It's sometimes when you plan the nice excursion that costs a little bit more, something happens and it's like, oh, that really wasn't fun for us, was it?
I went to life coach school for 13 months when I transitioned from being a pastor to being a life coach. And no one had ever taught me this, that life is 50-50, right? My 3 girls were just so fun. I loved being a mom of young children. And the 50% on the other side is like, it's really hard without them here. But that's part of the goal, is to raise people who are independent and they have the kind of lives that they enjoy, and being fulfilled enough myself that I don't like chase after them to feel fulfilled. And then they love this relationship with me because I'm showing up like already full. I'm not showing up like I need you in order to, still have a value. Because most of my value when I was younger, my Instagram name was like mom of, and their 3 initials. Like my whole identity was being their mom, even though I had these other jobs. I was a kindergarten teacher. I was a children's pastor. I was very busy, volunteered all the time. But like my primary identity was like their mom. And the thing that happened is while they were still here, I found my own path and a place for my energy to go. And it made our relationship better, not worse. You would think like more energy into them would make the relationship better, but it's actually not. Like, ideally, we talk about this in my coaching program a lot. Like, if you drew the Target logo in the middle of the Target logo is bright red, that's you. And when you have babies, they're in that circle with you because you're like, oh yeah, really keeping them alive. But as they get older, they're supposed to move out to the second or third circle, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's like you, and if you have a primary relationship, that's your inner circle and they're supposed to move out. Well, what's hard is many of us parents, we keep them right there, circle number 1. But they grow independent and they move us out and they're supposed to, right?
Yeah.
Just honoring that like it wasn't intended to be like this codependent relationship. And so starting with something as simple as summer, because how frustrated do moms get? I spent all my time and all my money trying to make you happy and you're overstimulated. Can I just tell you one little story? I went to a birthday party yesterday for a 1-year-old. I think moms these days are so smart. So smart. She planned the party exactly his best time of day for 1 hour. And she knew that's all the 1-year-olds could handle. I'm like, how did you know that? I didn't know that. I overstimulated my kids at their birthday parties every single year. Didn't even know that you could just make it small.
Right? Oh, I love that, right? 1 hour, everybody come, go, thank you so much. They're going to take a nap and we're all going to move on. Like, that's amazing. Since you've grown children now, could you speak to the post that goes around every summer? And I think it's so toxic. And it's something along the lines of, you only have 18 summers with your kids, so make sure you're making the best of it and be present and da-da-da-da-da. And some people it really resonates with, but a lot of women like me are like, shut up. Kindly zip it.
So you don't only have 18 years. What is interesting are the years between they get their driver's license and they're living their independent lives, right? So the end of high school, college, first jobs, they are in and out, in and out. So like my daughters were just celebrating this week. COVID accidentally gave them an extra year together as adults. They all had to move back home for a bit. And then they ended up in the same mid-Atlantic area and got a bonus year together.
No.
So one thing is like, you truly don't know how many, whatever, years,
Right.
whatever. But I think the most important part of that little saying, what people are trying to say is like, yeah, every moment is important. But what it actually does is put pressure on mothers that it doesn't put on fathers. That somehow
Thank you.
it is your job as the woman to make sure that like every moment of their life is special and precious. And that's not at all what kids should have, right? Because we're all meant to be living these like real normal lives where there are these peaks and there are these valleys. And we're hopefully just giving them the skills and the tools to grow in those valleys. But if we make every single day Disneyland, and I wanted to do that, I felt so much pressure to make every single day like Disneyland and precious. And that's just one, it's not even reality, but two, it's not best for them either. So I think if as a mom, you're absorbing this, I would love, like, just as my girls get older and closer to becoming mothers, like, I think the standard should be the same for moms and dads. Like, you're both necessary. And if you're not going to say to a dad, like, are you making every moment of their summer precious? Why are we asking moms to do that? Like you said, what it is, it's something that can just put so much pressure on moms. Like, I only have 18 of these, and if they don't have a 50, item summer to-do list, and we blueberry pick in Maine, and we go to the most precious sandcastle competition, and right, it's just, yeah. What did you do? What was one of your favorite parts of summer when you were younger? So your oldest daughter's in school, so school got out, you got to go home for the summer. What comes to mind as something you just liked?
My parents worked, so I was usually in a summer program, and I have very fond memories of being in the summer program. I got to go see my friends every day, a couple days a week. We'd walk to like the community pool, or we'd go on a field trip or whatever. And honestly, for the most part, minus the fact that there was no air conditioning in the building, I had a great time, really.
Okay. But also no air conditioning in the building. I'm not sure that's necessarily bad. Like, we were meant to experience all the different seasons. And it's funny now, you can live in this like 72-degree climate control, not experiencing it. But I think your word is so important for every mom who's feeling guilty that their kid is in a summer program. Like, it was a blast.
Yeah.
And in general, that's how kids feel most of the time about most things.
Yeah.
Like, they'll figure out something, they'll remember something they enjoyed. They'll also probably remember the silliest little small things. And you can't make life perfect, right? So they're going to remember the valleys, remember the peaks. But summer camp is a blast. Hanging out with your friends at home is blast. My youngest daughter's favorite memories, and like, we haven't lived in a relatively new house. So it's not like my basement was gross. She just loved playing in the basement and pretending she was an orphan. She would like climb stuff. And I had the most elaborate summers planned. And she'll tell you, she loved perler beads. She loved like making those too. But it was just funny. She had an amazing imagination. And so that was a place she could have her imagination. My kids grew up and we had a church community where the parents would do like a little Bible study at night and all the kids could play together. That is high on their list of favorite summer memories, was like being outside alone with no parent. And so I think whatever the kids are doing this summer, there'll be moments that they love. There'll be moments that they wish didn't happen, because that's life.
Yeah.
For moms to stop feeling the burden of somehow producing absolutely perfect summer experiences. Like, just, I think checking in is so honoring, right? You'd hate to be like, every single year the kid just wanted to go get an ice cream cone at this one place and we never made it. Right. Maybe make the time for that, but not 50 things.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the bucket list idea. And if she hadn't done it at school, we were going to do it ourselves. But that is such a great way to be like, what is your summer bucket list? And there might be something huge on there, but if they have 4 things that you could do on any given day, cool. Well, it's so free.
And
take the pressure off.
For her to have a bucket list, I think as a mom, why not take a moment and make yours? Yeah, I want to cut plants and maybe make a bouquet once a week this summer. I want to go to 2 dance classes this summer. I just saw a friend of mine went to the ocean with some of her friends from high school. And they had the cutest little bags. Okay, maybe that's not something you do every year, but if it's something you want to do once, can you make the time for it? Stuff like that, I think, is worth moms taking a moment to say, is there anything I would like to do? And maybe give it some of the energy that you would give your kids. I know you and I talk sometimes about the money that parents will spend on their kids trying out new activities versus the money moms will spend to get coached, to have a mentor. Like, I can spend $5 on me, but
oh my gosh,
$97 to try ice cream. And
oh my gosh, the power of the pattern interrupt when you spend some money on yourself. Your kids are so used to you spending money on them. And let me tell you, we have a fantastic little library. The free events at the library have been some of my kids' favorite things that we've done so far in the couple weeks. So save that money instead of taking them to the trampoline park or the roller rink and just, hey, I'm going to spend it on myself for a few minutes.
I have a way to help moms. This summer, I'm going to be in my coaching program talking a lot about the artist way. My summer series is called Soul Care and Sunshine. And so I talk about the fact that rest, play, and work are all important. And play is a funny word for us to use as adults, but play is the part of our life that brings us joy. And ever since I was a child, I would say the fun, joy that I had in life was always books. I love libraries. I love going to vacation, bringing my books. My kids' favorite things were always going to the library. They always had the cutest little things. So I don't think play has to be like, I want to join a soccer team. It might be, but what would it look like to rest emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, so you have the energy to play? That's how you know when you're heading towards burnout is like, I don't even want to go cut the flowers.
Exactly right. If you have no idea what you want or like anymore, you are in the thick of it. You are in burnout.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I've been there.
Yeah, we've both been there. Like I got myself to the place of burnout, trying to be a great mom, trying to fulfill that. And we have 18 years with you. And if I don't give you all of me, right, you'll end up having this like less than perfect childhood or something. It's like a time machine to be like, girl, when you throw a birthday party for a 1-year-old, make it an hour.
It's right. And you know that looking back, but sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you can't see it. You can't see it. So it's a great opportunity to talk with and learn from somebody else who might say, hey, that's not really necessary. Or you can have that, but let's just like turn down the dial, turn down the pressure just a bit, So
have somebody else that is truly in your corner saying, let's just notice what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Is that the thought you want to keep on repeat? Is that poem what you want to repeat driving your behavior? That it's your responsibility as the mother to create the most perfect 18 years. And most moms be like, no, like, I don't want that pressure. It's not serving me. It's not serving them. Because we go into these circumstances of like the Disney vacation and the pressure is so high and the poor kid is just tired. They don't want to go to another park. They don't want another meal. They just want to go take a nap. Having someone beside you to say, what would you like to think before the Disney trip? I'd like to think we're all doing the best we can. How do you say it? While having our human experience. I love how you say
oh, yeah. We're all souls having a human experience, right?
That would be a good phrase for Disney.
Right? Yeah. Wow. With the Mickey ears and a Dole Whip, I guess. It's always so fun connecting with you. I love doing this with you. Everybody, remember, it's your summer too, so get out and enjoy it. Have a great day. Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Having a Mom Moment podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing this space with us today. Before you go, don't forget to check out the show notes for any links or resources mentioned in today's episode. And hey, while you're at it, why not give me a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Having a Mom Moment. You can also visit havingamaMoment.com for even more mom-inspired resources. If you've enjoyed today's conversation as much as I have, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on future episodes. And it would mean so much if you leave us a glowing 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, remember to embrace those mom moments, find alignment in your journey, and always honor the incredible woman you are. Take care, friends, and we'll see you on the next episode.